our second panel of the day, which is on equitable education and digital technologies. We are, of course, addressing the question of equitable education. Social inequalities as a part of the educational landscape has been an important question for India to consider. And through the pandemic, but also prior to that, digital technologies, a kind of push towards new modes has always been there.
Technology can play in improving access, quality, and education and engagement in school learning is greatly emphasized. The lockdown imposed during the pandemic would test our capabilities and preparations for embracing technology for learning on a scale and in ways that were unimaginable just a couple of years ago. Teachers, parents, school leaders, non-governmental organizations showed exemplary courage and creativity in creating virtual spaces for children to learn. At least 2% of the child population in India comprises of children with disabilities. Enrollment of children with disabilities falls with each successive level of schooling. Children with disabilities have always been at the lowest rung of the social ladder and hence have been excluded from any meaningful learning experience in the regular school system. Therefore, they suffered the most due to this digital divide. Advancements in technology have enabled hundreds and thousands of people with disability to access the internet and to opportunities in education and careers that were perhaps unthinkable or unimaginable a few decades ago. We must ensure that the technology-based solutions for education are accessible for all the children in the country, even to the child at the bottom of the social ladder and at the lower end of this digital divide. And I'm here talking about children with disabilities.
We must provide robust teacher education and professional development opportunities for teachers. With the use of digital technologies, education and schooling has become every child's right in India. Since the ratification of the RTE Act in 2009, really has a very simple goal to provide every child with a quality education that promotes her or his dignity and the best possible growth and progress. The same quality of education, the high quality, has to go to every child. Without the teacher, the academic learning loss among children is very high. And we've got out a UNESCO book also, which says no teacher, no class. 3 myths. One is passive content is not useful for developing higher order thinking, but continues to promote rote learning. 2, we need to develop high quality open educational resources that leverage pedagogical affordances and enable teachers to adapt and adopt in their practice. 3 is we need to change our deficit mindset about the school teachers. We keep saying, I hear it everywhere, that teachers don't know. And we need to tell them. Teachers know a lot.
A challenge that we face in Odisha, other than, quote unquote quality educators or presence of, a lot of good intellectual resources, is also that I found, which is true I'm sure everywhere else, is that most people do not think that I'm not saying that this is the purpose of education, but one of the purposes, a very important purpose in my opinion, is about creating independent learners, which we are trying to do through libraries. And most people didn't understand the value of it. I did once a teacher's training program on reading promotion, and as a first game we played musical chairs, and whoever gets out has to talk about a book that you recently read. You won't believe it, 90% of the teachers referred to Gandhi's autobiography or Ramayana or Mahabharata. There's a little historical context to it, and I would just like to say this. Because if you look at the West, the first book to be printed was that is my understanding of why we don't give importance to reading as such. The first book to be printed was the Bible. In India, one of the first books to be printed was, again, the printing presses, the British came, the printing presses were set up, the Bible was translated, but the book never really replaced the guru. Okay. So, not belittling the role of the teacher, but somewhere I feel that most teachers don't understand that it is not just their role of giving knowledge to the students, but also as, facilitating that the children can learn independently.